Oh, pardon me if I don't vomit under the desk. Hillary Vaughn, not at you. Thank you so much. Great to see you.
All right, let's bring in Freedomworks chief economist and Committee to Unleash Prosperity co-founder Steve Moore. Steve, good to see you. The top 1% of income earners pay 45% of all of the income to the federal government in America, but it's not about that because perception becomes reality, and Democrats keep driving this fair share argument, and a lot of Americans don't understand how much the rich pay and how little the average individual, the average family pays to the federal coffers. But here's my concern about the IRS. This is not about going after every taxpayer. This is about going after Republicans. I think this is a weaponized agency used for political purposes. I've seen it in my own life, in my own campaign. They are partisan and they are hacks.
Well, I agree with all of that. First of all, the reason I love doing your guys' show, Dagan and Sean, is you tackle these issues that you're not going to see anywhere else. I guarantee CNN and other networks aren't going to be covering this story. But it's astounding. I've been doing this for 40 years. You know, when I got started looking at this data in the Reagan years, the top 1% were paying about 20%. Now they're paying 46%. By the way, the percentage has gone up after the Trump tax cut, and yet they keep saying the Trump tax cut was a tax cut for the rich. So how did that happen? But when you've got a system where 1% pay almost half the taxes, by the way, the bottom 50%, people below the median, their share of the income tax is 2.5%. There is no country in the world, I want to say this loud and clear, there is no other country in the world, not Sweden, not Russia, not any of the socialist countries, that depend so much on the top 1 to 2% to pay the tax burden. I think that's a bad system. I'm just going to correct you, Dagan, on one thing when you said, I think the problem is, you know, the question is, are they paying their fair share? The rich are paying more than their fair share. Come on, what kind of system 1% pay half the tax?
Well, and the 2.3% of all the taxes are paid by the bottom 50%.
Right.
That's the great lie by these left-wing nuts, is that we're going to have some great socialist society here. Over in Europe, it is incredibly high value-added taxes and payroll taxes. That's how they foot the bill. Yeah, but their plan is they're going to spend, well, they're borrowing, the Treasury's borrowing $2 trillion every year right now, but they're going to run deficits to the moon and expand all these programs like Medicaid, which we talked about. You know, they're going to pay for housing now and getting the homeless off the street. But what they want is the rich to pay more, raise their rates and expect the rich to pay even more, and then the bottom 50% or even more still pay bupkis and nothing. Yeah,
so they want to keep raising the top rate, keep raising that tax rate. And by the way, if you look at the states, what are the states that have the highest tax rate? Oh, yeah, California, New Jersey, and New York. Right. Where's everybody leaving? They're leaving California, New Jersey, and New York. All the people are going to Florida, and Texas, and Tennessee that have no income tax at all. My point is, if we keep raising the federal income tax rate, guess what? The money's not going to be here. It's going to go overseas. But I never answered your question, Sean, about what you are so correct about the politicization and weaponization of the IRS. Just as what's happened in the State Department, just what's happened in the Justice Department, and on and on. But, you know, if you look at what happened, people have forgotten what happened under Obama. Remember the name Lois Lerner?
Yes.
She basically admitted that she targeted Republicans and conservatives. And Joe Biden has a lot of nerve to come in and then say, because he was part of that administration. By the way, Lois Lerner never went to jail. She took the Fifth Amendment. And they say, oh, by the way, we want to hire another, several thousand IRS agents. They're coming after me and you.
And I think she's still got a retirement, too. Steve Moore, always good to see you bringing the fire and the heat. We appreciate it. Thank you.